A divided River State House of Assembly hold a parallel plenary. Amewule-led House insists on representation of the state budget with an ultimatum as Victor Kojombo Group screen and confirm commissioner nominee. Non-academic staff union of universities and their SANU counterpart finalized plans to kickstart series of protests ahead of a strike to demand payment of withheld salaries. Get their views on the program tonight. Hello and welcome to Politics Today, reaching you live from our global headquarters here in the nation's commercial nerve center, Lagos. I'm Jeffrey Uzama. Our responsibility, as always, keeping you informed and helping you to keep track of what is going on in the polity. Let's begin with some great news from the federal government that essential food items imported through land and sea borders will be exempted from duties, tariff and taxes in a new move by the government to cushion the impact of the harsh economic situation we've all found ourselves. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Mr. Abubakar Kyari, disclosed this measure during a press briefing in Abuja, the nation's capital. Mr. Kyari listed the food items to include maize, wheat, husk, brown rice, and cowpeas. Those are the ones to enjoy a 150-day duty-free import window. He explains how the measure is part of the Presidential Accelerated Stabilization and Advancement Plan, which is aimed at achieving food security and economic stability in the country. And from that, we head to that protracted political crisis that has engulfed Rivers State polity, where we now have parallel assemblies sitting over issues of one state. The Martin Amewule-led House of Assembly at the sitting today gave Governor Siminalayi Fubara a 7-day ultimatum to represent the Rivers State 800 billion naira appropriation bill to the Assembly. This is the first time the group, led by Amewule, has been sitting after the verdicts of the appeal court that overturned the ruling of a state high court that restrained him and 25 others from parading themselves as lawmakers. Recall that this was part of the resolution, brokered by the president during a peace pact meeting at the height of the political feud.
Has failed in his duty, in his oath of office, to present the appropriation bill to the Rivers State House of Assembly. He has failed to do so up till this date. The Constitution in Section 121 mandates the governor to present the appropriation bill to the House of Assembly. In Section 122, the Constitution gives a window for the governor to spend in the event that there is no appropriation law, but limits that window to 6 months. Honorable members, the 6 months window allowed to the governor has since elapsed on the 30th day of June. As we speak, there is no window for the governor to spend taxpayers' money or any fund from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of Rivers State. She also notified the governor that in total disregard to provisions of the 1999 Constitution as altered and the judgment delivered on the 4th day of July 2024 by the Court of Appeal in appeal number CA/PS/198/2024, in which all actions taken by the 3 suspended members, including purported screening and confirmation of commissioner nominees for appointments, caretaker committees, and other approvals, has been declared null and void.
Well, it appears with Rivers State, one day, one drama. While that was going on at the legislative quarters led by Martin Amewule, a similar plenary was holding at the same time where the Victor Kojombo-led group screened and confirmed a private legal practitioner, Mr. Emmanuel Frank Fubara, as commissioner in Rivers State, the government house, the venue of their own seating. This followed a request from Governor Siminalayi Fubara. The House also considered for the second time the bill for the creation of the State Emergency Management Agency and the reform of the transport sector.
Right, the Honorable Victor Kojombo, Speaker, Rivers State House of Assembly, Port Harcourt. requests for screening and confirmation of Barrister Emmanuel Frank Fubara as Commissioner nominee. Pursuant to Section 192 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, it is my pleasure to forward Barrister Emmanuel Frank Fubara to the Rivers State House of Assembly for screening and confirmation as Commissioner and member of the Rivers State Executive Council.
Well, shortly after that, Governor Similaye Fubara led Commissioner nominee Mr. Emmanuel Frank to take his oath of office. The swearing-in ceremony was held at the Executive Council chambers of the Government House in Port Harcourt. In his remarks, Governor Similaye Fubara defended his recognition of the Victor Okojombo-led assembly, saying it is the lawfully recognized legislative arm. He also expresses disappointment with the police for not doing enough to unravel the facts about the bomb explosion in Port Harcourt.
If it were a situation that Fubara is involved in anything or Fubara's associates, by now, Nigeria will be hot. There will be arrests. There will be statements. There will be counter this. There will be press conference. But because it is from the other side, but glory to God that they couldn't hide it. I've not been hearing anything. And I'm wondering, after how many weeks now, the Nigerian police is still not able to come out and make a statement about the attempt by one, whoever, I don't know what his name is, that tried to detonate a dynamite in front of Hotel Presidential. I'm still wondering why it has not happened. But if it's maybe any other thing that has to do with us, they will say, in fact, by now they should have even charged the person for terrorism. But you see, this God that I said that we are serving genuinely, this God that River State has been dedicated to by our predecessors. Because when they make statement, they say, River State belongs to Christ, belongs to God. And that is the God that is saving us and lifting us.
Oh, I know what you're thinking. Okay, I don't know what you're thinking. But it looks like one day, one drama. But let's bring you other political roundup stories.
The chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Land Transport, Blessing Onu, is asking the Nigerian Railway Corporation to do more to ensure security of the rail transport system. Honorable Onu stated this during an oversight visit to the Committee on Land Transport to Idu train station, where she urged the management to employ modern technology to secure rail installations. The visit comes on the backdrop of recent rail derailments and security threats on the Abuja-Kaduna rail service.
You can be fooled once, but you cannot be fooled twice. Get a solution, get to the root of it. Employ security men. If they are not working, keep trying until you get it right.
The National Assembly Committee on Labour and Employment has given the assurances of the nation's parliament to speedily pass the amendment bill on new minimum wage once it's sent in by President Bola Tinubu. The chairman of the committees in the Senate and House of Representatives said this during a retreat on labour reforms and the quest for living wage organized by the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies in Abuja.
Let our great workers be rest assured that the National Assembly stands side by side with the Nigerian people. I believe that when you are through and the bill is given to us, which I believe that it will be an amicable bill, we will work on it within the shortest time possible.
Meanwhile, the Federal High Court sitting in Kaduna State has adjourned till July 17 to hear a case filed by former governor of the state, Nasir El-Rufai, against the Kaduna State House of Assembly and the Attorney General of the state, challenging the House Committee's report, which accused him of corruption. At the commencement of the hearing on Monday, counsel to the first respondent, the Kaduna State House of Assembly, Mr. Sani Katu, informed the court that they are in the process of filing a notice of preliminary objection, challenging the court's jurisdiction to hear the case. The council therefore seeks an extension of time to enable them file all the applications in the case filed against his client by the applicant, Nasir El-Rufai. After listening to all the submissions made by the councils, the presiding judge, Justice Rowano Aikawa, adjourned the case to July 17, 2024, to enable the respondent file all the applications, including the substantive application. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, said it is now ready to begin the implementation of the Supreme Court judgment on fresh delineation of wards and polling units in Warri Federal Constituency, and are urging stakeholders to support the process of the exercise. Speaking at the stakeholders meeting in Warri, Delta State, the Delta State National Commissioner, who represented the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, insists the exercise will go on as directed by the courts. Stakeholders on their own part assured the Commission of their support and readiness for the exercise. And lastly, in Ebonyi State, where the Labour Party LP says it will soon commence the electronic registration of members across the state. Speaking during the party's stakeholders meeting in Abakaliki, the Ebonyi State capital, the leader of the party, Eze Emmanuel, explained that introducing electronic registration will boost its membership capacity nationwide.
The future of the Labour Party, like I said, the Labour Party is the first party that has an ideology. And that ideology is connected to grassroots. So the future is there, it's stable. We have not lost any member.
Welcome back. Let's get straight to the conversation for today. I'm being joined in the program by a life member of the Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party. Joins us via Zoom from London in the United Kingdom. That's England, Chief Bode George. Chiefs, thank you so much for coming on the program, sir.
Always my pleasure.
Chief, on the lighter note, the last time I spoke with you, I think you were still in London, and now you're still in London. Have you jackpot by any... So let's be clear.
You know, the distance in those days, it would take you about 14 days to get to the UK by sea. But now, with jets all over the place and modern technology, it's a quick dash in and out if you want to. And if you are still doing business and you are still strong enough to attend board meetings here and there, why not?
All right,
I've been back home ever since the last time.
I'll take your word for it, Chief. I know that the last time we had a conversation was the day the NEC was meeting, and you were quite very explicit. I remember your words. I may not quote you verbatim, but you said you sat down in that meeting and you were asking yourself, is this the day that the PDP will end? And you were quite excited about the outcome. And I did ask you that, what exactly are we looking forward to? He said, look, you're closing ranks and reconciliation and all of that, and there's a NEC meeting coming up, I think, next month. But if this reconciliation that you talked about the last time we had a conversation is really, really yielding results, what we're seeing in Rivers and Edo seem not to be reflecting of anything like peace in the offing.
I agree with you. I've been following the utterances, the play-outs, and I am wondering, what is the Board of Trustees doing? The members of the Board of Trustees should be the elders in the room. And I am requesting them with the new chairman and the new secretary of the Board of Trustees. This is the time to forget all the various divides and go and talk to the Group A, talk to Group B, and see how you can bring everybody back on board. Every day when I listen to A and B, it really disturbs my mind because we have the capacity, the PDP, and the ability, and civilized people who set up this party of ours, and we must continue in that line. Yes, there will be disagreements, and it happens all over the world. Look at what is happening in America today between those who want Biden to go ahead and those who didn't want Biden to go ahead. discussions will go on. This party is not a private fiefdom of any individual. For God's sake, we will talk. And that is the essence of politics. Let the leaders in BOT rise above the level of the utterances. It is really getting so nasty that what will the electorate think about us? We want to maintain and convince the electorate that, yes, there will be crisis, but we have the capacity, the knowledge, the temerity to handle all this. It is no longer Ubara and Governor Wike and this and that and all the other. Let the party board of trustees, members, get up. This is the time to show that they really mean well for the party. It is so disturbing when I listen to one group here, another group here, and then they have sucked in the judiciary that should be independent. You know, one judge will give judgment here, another one will give. It is very, very disturbing. The situation in the country calls for calmness because all is not going well. People are hungry and they have a right to be angry. For God's sake, don't let this thing totally get to a level where it can explode on our faces. I am a retired general. I know why I'm saying this. The masses of this country are not happy. So you that are elected, you should calm down, allow the elders to wade in. Whatever differences you have, it cannot be in perpetuity. It cannot. So what is it that we are looking for that we cannot calm ourselves and head on? You give room for one thing here.
All right, Chief.
You lose one, you get some. I don't know. It is not a scenario that has never happened before.
All right, Chief.
But let the right people get up and solve the goddamn problem.
All right, Chief. There's an election coming up in Ondo. There's an election coming up in Edo just a few months away. But it looks like the internal wrangling of the PDP is consuming the entire opposition because you're the lead opposition, given the number of states and the number of members you have both in the Houses of Assembly and the National Assembly. And so Nigerians are just left without a strong opposition in that sense. So for you, what is really the way forward? If reconciliation is not working, is it not time to wield the big stick? If it's wielding the big stick, what will it be?
You know, when you talk about the big stick in politics, it will disrupt the foundation. Let me remind our people, the man who was the convener of the founding fathers was Dr. Alex Ekweme. He was the convener. And he was able to convince even those who were well known as his political enemies. He was able to convince Bode. You know, they don't agree. He was able to convince Papa Solomon La. He was able to convince Papa Bola Ige in the West. They were never political issues. But for the sake of the country, everybody came there, dropped all their own ambitions outside, and rallied round to build up an Iroko political party. And for God's sake, how long have we been out? 20-something years? It's still nothing. So he was able, and for all the elections that we had in the South, I mean, when it was zoned to the South, Dr. Alex Ekweme contested with President Obasanjo. Okay, they declared he lost. He never at any time raised his hands to demonize or to destroy the party. That is a typical example of a civilized, God-fearing man. Why our people are doing this, I don't know. There's no perpetuity in anything you are doing. You will serve your time, leave a positive mark so that the books of history will be kind to you. I am looking at it now. Everybody is sitting and watching as if all is well. Even those in government, where the palliatives just announced, Minister of Agriculture just announced 150 days. What is 150 days? What are the plans they have for us to start growing and ensuring that these things are available within the expanse of land that God gave Nigeria? There's no part of Nigeria that is not healthy in terms of mineral resources, human resources, and whatever. So is it the management? And it looks like it is the management of our resources that are not right. Look at the petty fighting in, up and down. And I want to plead, because at my getting almost 80, what else do I want? I will remain telling the truth. I will remain, because my great-granduncle was the first Nigerian who established a political party in that country, Papa Hellas Herbert Macaulay. So we must sustain that thought process, the commitment, the nation first before individuals. For God's sake, where are the members of the Board of Trustees? They are the people to lead in this reconciliation and calming the nerves of those who are so angry. Angry about what?
All right.
Please.
All right. All right, Chief.
I like you said, we have an election coming. Yeah. I've seen the powerful group that have been put as the campaign team. I don't have any quarrels about that. We will go back there to sell like I said, look at the attitude of Papa Alex Ekweme. His name will remain on the golden page of the political history of that country.
All right,
he
Chief.
Never fought for one day to say, no, I didn't agree. We must bring everything. I was the one that formed the party. I was the one that was the convener. He didn't do that. There's no perpetuity in human beings. You will have an exit one day.
All right,
so
Chief.
Let them all calm down and let's do what is right.
All right, Chief, I may at some point, if we have the time, I may ask about who and who exactly. Maybe this is a good time to ask. When you say you've been mentioning them, we should. So in specific, because you dovetailed into some national issue, which I will come to as soon as you answer this question. Who and who are you talking about here?
Okay. Take Rivers State. You mentioned Governor Wike, right? Then the governor presently serving, Governor Fubara. There is some kind of, disagreement between the two. Now the thing is spreading to the base of the party. And there are leaders, elders too have waded in, I'm told, and it didn't go well. But it is the responsibility of the Board of Trustees of the party. That's the upper chamber. Let them get people. Go and meet Group A and meet Group B. They have leaders on either side. This party just didn't come from anywhere. That was how Papa Ekweme and all those others ensured that there was continuity, there was peace. Once you have more than one or two or three people in an organization, there will be these who disagree. We can disagree, people, but we must never be disagreeable. We will have differences of opinions, of our ideas, and all that. And that's why you have elders. That's why the Board of Trustees is created, because they are to sustain and maintain the peace that you need. When one group is fighting another and the National Working Committee cannot handle it, they bring in the Board of Trustees people, elders, those who have gone to this front before, who have gone to war before, who have seen it, to tell them. I just looked at it. Papa Ekweme never at any time raised his hand in an attempt to destroy the party. Rather, He kept on ensuring that there was peace, there was agreement. Those are the things that they handed over to us in next generation. So what are we waiting for?
All right.
Let the man who is the chairman now is Senator Wagbara. Let him get up with his secretary. They're not just to be warming the tables and chairs in that office. Let them get some other elders who are still there. One or two of these founding fathers are still alive, but they are not in good health. They should go and meet with them, bring them in. You need elders now in the room. It is not completely out of control that the party cannot handle. We had worse scenarios in the past, and we were able to survive.
All right.
So why not?
All right,
we
Chief.
can do it.
Chief, let's now dovetail into some national issue. To be fair, I think if you look at the government under President Bola Tinubu, you can see a lot of efforts. But it's in the immediate term, it's not moving as much needle as it should move in the immediate term, trying to undo or trying to manage the impact of the subsidy removal as well as the floating of the naira. So I can talk about this tax holiday, which is the immediate. There's also a 2 trillion naira proposal for some spending, some intervention, sectoral spending, as well as support system. There's also another intervention in the tone of about 1 trillion naira that has to do with household as well as construction. So we're seeing a lot of activity, but in the immediate term, we're not seeing so much result. The numbers in the FX is still high. The high cost of living, there's a lot going on. So my question is, from your point of view, what is the missing link? Capacity, prioritization, or resource management, or what?
All those three items you mentioned are very key, and these are not being well addressed. Look, if you really want to solve the problem, from my perception, those who had been managing directors of 5 banks, 5 top banks in Nigeria, should be invited. Should be invited to the villa. They know what they did, how they mismanaged the resources of the country under General Buhari's administration. And, Bola has been trying to play some kind of a game so that you don't put all the blames on him. I told him that we had 1 year of a test run for him, at least to learn what is happening in this sector, what are the reports from this other sector. And so now 1 year is enough to know that. From his table, what he needs to do is to now profile solutions. Now, the solutions is profiling, and those people who are the real damagers of our financial institutions, the monetary and fiscal measures, the policies of Nigeria, those are the people. Now you have now brought them back to be your advisors. So what are they going to talk to you about? What do they manufacture in the banks? Why the way our own top bankers in Nigeria are so humongously wealthy than the people you find here as managing directors of Barclays Bank, Lloyds Bank, and all kinds of banks here. What happened? Now, the money that was disbursed, the dollars that was handed over to the various banks for the use of customers who benefited from those things. We must talk the facts. We are just brushing things on the surface and pretending that, yes, we'll get to the answer. And every time you move, time is running. And time is of essence. The people are now getting worse. And not only the people at the bottom, whether you are a rich man or poor man, everybody is now getting hungry and angry. Things are not working. All these policies, they look like it will take you another century before they can actualize. We want something that, that we immediately give an initial cushion, and then people will say, okay, let's see what is going on. All these theories that they are propounding and throwing up, what impact? That's what you should do if you are there. Listen, the British here last week had their election. The Conservative Party that had been there for about how many years collapsed. They lost the election woefully. Now, you know what the new Labour Prime Minister is saying? He said, look, they have had them.
All right.
They have had them. And he will be concerned about solving the problems rather than talking. So let the people, see the impact of whatever theory or whatever, all these things you have just mentioned that are there. All those things you mentioned are the key.
All right, Chief.
Nobody is achieving anything.
All right, Chief. So if I'm a button, sir.
It is the nation.
If I'm a button, let me quickly. You were in the military, and insecurity is a big deal in our country.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing resurgence of. We saw what happened in Borno.
Everywhere.
With the suicide bombers. Yeah. We're seeing what's happening in Kaduna. What is President Bola Tinubu doing wrong as far as insecurity is concerned?
One key thing is this. You see, the military, once we are trained, not like policemen. Because if you go to war, if you have your enemies, facing you frontally, it's either you kill them or they kill you. No big deal. But when you now have a social internal unrest, when you deploy the military and any one of them is killed, they will respond with the most potent force to fight back. We had suggested the council, the committee, the Constitutional Conference Committee that was established by former President Jonathan, stated that the need to have a local police, state police, cannot be futuristic. It is so urgent because this, when you look at it, when we go to war, you have a defined enemy, right? But in this one, it's an insurgency, insecurity within. You don't know who they can come out during the day, they dress like they are part of this area, but in the night, they turn to be something else. So what you need will be people within their own community to police them. They know themselves. They know the do's and don'ts in that culture. They know the rules of the people in that culture. They know people from this house to that house to that. So they will be better off to be able to manage any issues coming within their communities.
Okay.
For God's sake, we need this police. We need the state police. They know their areas, they know their language, they know their people. So when you look, I have one of my boys who had worked with me before. He's been in Borno now. He's now an ASP. He's been in Borno over 7 years. He doesn't speak Hausa. He doesn't speak Fulfulde. He doesn't speak anything.
Okay.
How can it be useful? You know what I'm saying? So let them approach it. It's not politics now. We need reality on ground.
All right, George, we're totally out of time, but I will not let you go without asking you about Ondo. First, I think, when is the NEC meeting coming up?
I'm told they shifted it to September.
They shifted it to September. Is it before the Ondo Edo election or after the election?
Now, I'm not too sure about the dates now.
Okay,
but the NEC meeting shifted to September. Now, it was going to be August, but they shifted it to September.
It was meant to be August. Right. So my 30 seconds, we're totally out of time. I know politicians are very optimistic about outcomes. And though Edo election, sincerely speaking, how do you think your party will fare in 30 seconds?
I am very positive that we will do very well. You know why? The experiences of the national management of our nation in the last 9 years had nothing to be proud of. Yes, we have internal wranglings, and this is one of the reasons why the elders in our party should go and cool the nerves of the people, because the majority of the electorate will still believe that during the period of PDP, either national or local, they enjoy themselves. Life was meaningful. But what did these people do to warrant being given the kudos to say, well done, continue? To continue in abject poverty, to continue with stories without any positive income to the people. Those are the issues. And they are now more conscious. That, they keep telling us. They tell me too.
Chief George, we're totally out of time.
Why don't you make sure that you keep the things calm so that we can come back to you? They have been tested before, and that will give them positive memory. Don't worry. We will be. All I want to pray for is the INEC must not mess up this election.
All right, that is noted.
There should be no. That if they don't mess it up, let the will of the people prevail.
Chief Bode George, life member of the Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party. Always a delight talking to you, sir. And thank you for coming on the program.
My pleasure, too. Enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Well, we're going to a quick break. When we come back, we'll switch gears. NASU, SANO are gearing up for their first strike tomorrow at the state levels. On Thursday, at the national level, if they don't hear from government, they are going on a strike. We'll be joined by the national president of that association right after the break. Join us again.
Who's your guy? See how sweet they like beans and rice. People, I will never leave your side. I will never ever. I dedicate my time forever. Time to you, my people. Even if the road be rough, I know mine. 'Cause together we shall stand.
Make we all come out on election day and vote Olumide Osaigbavo Akpata, Una guy, as governor of Edo State. He ready to change our story and bring better life for we and our pikin them. Vote Labour Party, the party for Papa, Mama and pikin. Make we vote well, oh. Oluji, confirm. Now you be our guy. Labour Party, forward ever.
Olumide Akpata.
It is new, it is unique and of international standard. Maduka University. Maduka University, a modern university of international standard with modern facilities for learning, committed to training entrepreneurs across different fields of human endeavor, offers admission to students in different courses such as law, accounting, medical lab science,
cybersecurity, mechatronics,
mass communication, nursing, pharmacy, ICT, computer engineering, civil engineering, JUBE program, and a lot more. Maduka University is located in an environment of serenity, safety and security at Ekwebe Nsukka, Enugu State. For more inquiry, visit our website madukauniversity.edu.ng or call 0805-509-1802 or 0915-789-3107. Maduka University, the place for the transformation you seek.
Did you know you can access electoral information with just a click? Introducing Nigeria Elections, an inclusive artificial intelligence platform that guides citizens on Nigeria's electoral and civic landscape. Say bye to misinformation and disinformation. Visit www.nigeriaelections.ng today. Nigeria Elections, addressing democratic questions.
The Duchess International Hospital caters to every aspect of the family's health needs. A one-stop shop for maternity and child health services, emergency medicine and critical care, medical and surgical subspecialties, dental and eye care, and a range of other subspecialties and services, all available at a single location right here in the heart of Ikeja. And it really doesn't matter if you're paying out of pocket using your HMO or private insurance. We focus completely on providing that world-class affordable healthcare for all the family at all times.
Welcome back. It's now time to talk about that in that protest that will kick off tomorrow by the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, as well as National Association, Non-Academic Staff Association of Nigerian Universities. Joining us on the program is the National President of the Non-Academic Staff Union of University, Mr. Makolo Hassan. He joins us from our Boge studio. Mr. Hassan, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Maybe you give us a short version, sir, of the background to this particular agitation for those in the know. For those who are not in the know, I should say.
I can't hear you.
Go ahead, sir.
I can't hear you.
Did you hear my question, sir?
No.
I was saying that just a short version of the background to this current agitation by SANU and NASU.
Yes, thank you very much. That is very, very important and imperative. We need to know where the problem we have now at our hands emanated from. What we have on ground now emanated from the 2009 agreement. The workers in the university under the auspices of SANU and NASU agitated that the 2009 agreement was overdue for review. That was on at a time and nothing was done again. And in 2022, we have to go on strike to press home that agreement, the renegotiation of that agreement. Again, we have the issue of earned allowances. We have the issue of our state university poor funding, and we have the issue of inconsistencies of IPPIS. And at the end of the day, 2022, in August, the then Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, called the two unions to a meeting where it was agreed, and we committed all that we agreed upon into writing, where 50 billion was earmarked for the payment of earned allowances for all the workers in the university and inter-university centers, where there was a solution to be proffered to appeal to the state government to fund the state university properly. There were issues on ground whereby even for 5 months, 6 months, some workers in the state university were not paid. And we were agitating on that how much is this salary that you will still be owing the workers. These were part of the issue, and they were communicated into writing. And interestingly, it was signed that no member of the two unions will be victimized. Lo and behold, 4 months' salaries were withheld. And that will tell me to be victimization, because if you withhold our salary, you have victimized us. And when this president came on board, he said he has granted a waiver for the payment of this withheld salary to the university workers. Lo and behold, since last year up to now, our members of NASU and SANU are yet to receive this money. These are the problems on ground currently.
So for proper context, the withheld salary, it has to do with the strike of 2022, am I correct?
Very well.
But I understand that ASU was paid 4 months of the withheld salary. Nasu and Sanu were not paid. Am I correct, sir?
Thank you very much. Yes,
okay.
yes. After the waiver.
Okay.
Go
ahead, please.
After the waiver, our counterpart in the academics were paid 4 months out of about 8 months. And ours were 4 months and nothing has been paid. All that we kept hearing is promise upon promises, and nothing has been done up to now.
So besides promises, what exactly are they saying for not paying? Is it paucity of funds? And because I know you've described it as unfair treatment, insensitivity, discrimination, and all of that. What exactly are they explaining to you as a reason for not being able to pay?
Yes, we met with the Honorable Minister of Education and the Minister of Education for State and even Permanent Secretary of Education on Thursday last week. All we were told was that the papers have been transmitted to Presidency and that they believe that something will be done. Nothing concrete came from the meeting we held with the Honorable Minister. And it is interesting again to know that we were invited to a Ministry of Labor. And when we got there, we were told that she was called to the Presidency. This is the second time she will invite us for a meeting. We will go there, and she's not on ground. So nothing from any quarter as to why this money is not paid.
So let's go back to your mobilization. How far-reaching are the people? I mean, how far do you want to go with this series of action you're about to take? And have you received any call since you released that letter from the presidency or from anyone from the government?
No, apart from the failed meeting of Thursday, nothing. We have not heard anything from anybody. And our members across the country met in their various branches today, and they will hit the ground running as from tomorrow. And like you rightly said, we will appraise it by next week, Thursday on the 18th. We are going to do the national protest in Abuja. And after the national protest, if nothing is done, we will get back to the table, the two unions will profile the next line of action.
And the next line of action will be?
Yeah, the next line of action is not what an individual at this point can predict. Because the way we do our things is it will be done democratically. Because we'll first of all push it back to the branches who will meet and give us the go-ahead on the next line of action. It's not something that one single individual will define for now.
I just want to take a bit of data. What's the size of the membership of Sanu and Nasu? I have a reason for asking that question.
Yes, we precisely cannot say there are 10,000, there should be more. But I didn't come with the correct figure. Okay. For NASU, we have over 40,000 people, but now this is the segment of the one that concerns the university system.
How much will this impact the university community in your view? Because if you're pushing this, that means you know something is about to happen and it will really be, it will go far. How far?
How far in terms of what?
How much will the action you're about to take impact the university community?
Oh yes. We do know. Like I always say, majority of us, we are parents as well. We have been pushed into this, and we know it will affect us, it will affect our students, it will affect parents. But we are pulling to them, and that is why we are taking the step we are taking now, because we know the non-teaching staff, once we're done too, there will be no water, there will be no light, there will be a lot of things will not function well in the system, which we have been trying all the while to avert. But because it seems that the language that the administration understands most is protest and strike. And that is why we want to go by the protest first and see what will happen. Because we know, of course, that negatively it will affect the university system.
So what in the immediate term can government do, in your view, as one of the leaders of the unions, that can make you maybe change your mind or do something differently, maybe not proceed on maybe the big action you want to take? Is it full payment of the 4 months or part payment? What exactly?
Yes, as we stand now, our members are hungry. You know, our members are the downtrodden. They are living in poverty. And you see the cost of living in the country now. So if, for instance, the government says, okay, what are you asking for? The first line charge here is the 4-month withheld salary. If by the time I will leave here, our members said, yes, we are hearing some bagang that a lot is entering, then we will sit back again to readjust. Because the other issues, the renegotiation of 2009 agreement, the 50 billion approved to be paid, the inconsistencies of the IPPIS, it will interest you to know that even the IPPIS issue seems to have been resolved. But technically, it is not completely resolved. So, but if the 4-month salary begin to drop, then the situation will change.
I agree with you totally that the best music from any mobile device is what you call bagang alerts on your phone. But let's also say, let's also look at how much a strike really helped to achieve results in your view.
Yes, of course. Like I told you, what brought the issue of no work, no pay was because the government on their part failed to do what they ought to do, and we went on strike. And you want to solve that problem, you called us to table. In the past, once you come to table and you reach an agreement and say no worker will be victimized, that strike is kept behind you and you forge ahead. In this situation, you withheld that money, you refuse to pay, and you beat a baby and say, keep quiet, don't cry. That is our situation now. You beat us, and you say we should not cry. Our members say, no, we must cry. And so until the government is able to avoid reneging of agreements that are validly entered into, strike will not end in the system.
So are you saying, because I just heard you say that, maybe let me ask the question, maybe you reiterate. Are you saying government has the money but has refused to pay? The reason I ask, why will government have money and refuse to pay knowing the consequence of not paying?
Yes, thank you very much. The manner of approach matters a lot. When we went to the Ministry of Education to meet with the Honorable Minister of Education, our expectations will be that, okay, look at the approval in my hand here. We have the approval. What we are looking for now is the cash backing. Then it will be understandable that, yes, once fund is available, this money will be paid. And of course, what we expect to hear is that, okay, yes, we give us 2 weeks, give us 1 month. Give us also time, this money will be paid. We'll ask you again to commit it into writing. And we'll show it to our members that, look, this money has been approved, but currently the cash is not available. We have been promised we can get it in 4 weeks' time. Then we'll be good to go. But no situation, you say it is before the presidency. For how long? You know that even the House Committee on Education intervened on this matter, and they passed a resolution and sent to the presidency, yet nothing has happened. That is the level we are.
So one is just wondering whether it has to do... So in your view, do you feel that government is just grandstanding or there's a genuine reason?
Well, there is a level within which I can comment on this because I am not in the core ministry, I'm not in the Ministry of Finance, I'm not in presidency. All my knowledge and capacity is within the university system and the welfarism of my members. So I can speak more of my members that we are hungry and this money is needed. If you look at it, the time this money is supposed to be paid, Naira relatively was strong. As we talk today, that money can no longer buy anything. But what is the situation within the presidency or in the circle of government that the money is not paid is what I cannot profile. I can't provide any solution to that.
All right. In closing, just maybe my last question on this particular one. How much is the money being owed here? Maybe you reiterate it for us.
And no, I cannot say the quantum of money involved.
An average.
I know I can't just give. I'm not an accountant, and I hope the right people that can tell us this are people in finance, because they have the template. They have what they use in paying us money on monthly basis. So within a glance, they will be able to tell us this is how much it will take, so that I don't give you fake information.
All right, Mr. Hassan, the government, trust me, they are watching. If you have anything to tell the government now, what will it be that can stop what's going to happen tomorrow and maybe next week and even worse afterwards?
I want to tell the government that we are not mad. Our members are not mad. We are not strike mongers. All these strike and protests are most of the time propelled by the power that be, and it is not good for us. So if government is always doing the needful, there will be no need to go on strike. There will be no need to go on a protest. And I want to believe that if there are people, one or two persons, who's supposed to be in charge, who's supposed to pass this information to Mr. President, because I know Mr. President have told us that as he has come on board now, there will be no more strike in the university system. If people are happy with that pronouncement, we should be able to tell Mr. President, ABC is wrong in the university system, and I know it will be corrected.
Mr. Makola Hassan is the National President of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities, joining us from our Abuja studio. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on the program. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
All right, that's it on the program. Thanks so much for your time. And, of course, your usual company. I'm Jeffrey Ozama. God bless Nigeria.
Did you know you can access electoral information with just a click? Introducing Nigeria Elections, an inclusive artificial intelligence platform that guides citizens on Nigeria's electoral and civic landscape. Say bye to misinformation and disinformation. Visit www.nigeriaelections.ng today. Nigeria Elections, addressing democratic questions.
Nigeria is blessed with iconic wildlife. Elephants, gorillas, pangolins, and so much more. But these beautiful animals are threatened by illegal logging and poaching. And we will lose our national heritage if we don't stand up for wildlife. So please report wildlife crimes and say no to illegal bushmeat, because protecting nature protects our future.
It's nice to have you join us. You're watching News Track and Channels Television. I'm Ayo Tunde Balogun, and these are the stories and reports we're tracking for you at this time. It's a tale of two sittings, two plenaries, two resolutions, all coming from one state and one House of Assembly in Rivers State. The Martin Amewule-led Rivers State House of Assembly at a sitting today gave Governor Siminalayi Fubara 7 days to present the River State Appropriations Bill to the Assembly. Elsewhere in the state, the other house, led by Victor Okojumbo, held a parallel sitting where a commissioner-designate underwent screening. Our River State correspondent, Charles Oporom, reports.
Following the Court of Appeal judgment last week, the Amewuli-led River State House of Assembly are sitting. After the Speaker takes his seat, the leader informs the House of 2 judgments from the courts in his possession.
I have in my possession the certified true copy of the enrolled order of the Appeal Court